I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. For 24 years, Ann Arbor has been celebrating the LGBTQ community during Outfest. This year, they changed the name and the date, and the rebranding has been well received. Ann Arbor Pride now encompasses a full weekend of fun for the entire family.
It's an opportunity for, one, the community to come together and celebrate. It's also an opportunity for us to reflect really on some of the challenges that we face together, the things that are still coming ahead. But also it's really just a great opportunity for us to demonstrate to the community that it's okay to be who you are.
We don't just sort of accept people who are different here, we celebrate the differences. And so part of Ann Arbor Pride is making sure that we're giving people that opportunity, not just Ann Arbor, but the surrounding communities as well. And my role as kind of commissioner, I think it's very important to encourage people to be proud of who they are and be out about it. I'm a proud, openly gay elected official, and I think it's important to talk about that.
We are incredibly lucky to live in a place where really just every day we've got businesses and community groups and organizations that are incredibly supportive and welcoming of everyone.
There's a different feel here in Ann Arbor Pride. It really feels like a community because that's what we are. I just absolutely love being here. I love seeing people come for the first time and feel proud of who they are.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. Music is all around us, creating different genres for people to pick and choose what they want to hear, and now the HandsOn Museum is integrating music with science and art to create quite an experience. Now through the end of August, you can learn the ins and outs of creating sound at the Sonic Workshop.
This is the Sonic Workshop, and this is something that came out of my 10 years as a music director at a small private school in Ann Arbor, where I was the music director and also a technology integration specialist. So I would be integrating technology with music. This room today exemplifies all that work with technology and music and kind of the future of music making.
The Sonic Workshop uses multiple platforms to understand the creation of music in the digital realm.
It's not just about computers recreating live instruments, but actually creating new sounds with computers, composing using digital tools, learning music theory with digital tools. That's what this room is all about showing.
Today I learned how the sound vibrates through the whisper, and also the cube. How every time you touch something, the light changed color.
It kind of provides just the spark of invention, the spark of inspiration to show what you can do when you start combining these analog ideas with digital and making instruments that way. Because everyone has a relationship with music. And so connecting music with science, it's a perfect fit.
Ann Arbor is striving for inclusivity, and you will notice aspects of our city parks are being designed with more people in mind. Learn about park accessibility in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hi, I'm Hillary Hansel, a landscape architect and park planner with the City of Ann Arbor Parks and Recreation Department. Today I'd like to talk to you about accessibility here in our Ann Arbor Park system. There are a few things you may have noticed in our parks, such as benches that appear to have been installed off-center. This is actually an intentional design decision to accommodate users in wheelchairs sitting next to those on benches. There are also picnic tables with elongated extensions on one end, and this also is done to accommodate users in wheelchairs. We also have a unique feature here in Gallup Park, the new Universal Access Playground that you can see behind me. This playground was designed with input from the Center for Independent Living that provided design recommendations to accommodate children as well as caregivers of all abilities. Here in the Ann Arbor Park System, we're working hard to reduce barriers and improve accessibility, and we hope you will join us.
A death in a family can unearth a lot of strife. Humble Boy takes a deep look at the dysfunctional relationships as experienced through the 35-year-old astrophysicist, Felix Humble, after the loss of his father. Joining me is Laura Bird, director of PTDs production of Humble Boy. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Humble Boy and why you wanted to direct this play?
I'm attracted to plays that are both funny and moving at the same time, and I'm attracted to plays about dysfunctional families. I like to say it feels like home. But the topic that we're dealing with in Humble Boy is Felix Humble dealing with his grief and people telling him how to grieve. And I think everybody needs to grieve in their own way, at their own pace, and there is no wrong way to grieve. Mm-hmm. So that sentence just made this sound like a really dark play, and it's not. You're going to be laughing.
Well, yeah, I saw that it's deeply moving, but it's also very funny at the same time.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
And I think those are all things that you can relate to as a family. And when you talk about a dysfunctional family, even if your family's not per se dysfunctional, there's always going to be those couple oddballs in your family that make it.
Normal is a setting on a washing machine and not much else.
Yes. Exactly. So I think there's something to be said about plays like Humble Boy where you can relate to it as an actor, as a director, and as an audience member.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's set in an English country garden, so that's why the set is ambitious. And I'm working with a designer, Orion Silvertree, and his idea, it's not a totally realistic play. Mm-hmm. It flirts with the plot of Hamlet a bit, but it's not about Hamlet. And there are times when we get in Felix's head and times when time speeds up or slows down, so I didn't want a realistic set. And so Orion came up with the idea of making all the flowers, and there's tons of flowers mentioned in this play, making them all out of paper. And there's also kind of a stylization and a forced perspective on the set in a honeycomb shape that references the bees that are a big part of the show.
Yeah, so hence when you go onto the website, you see the bee that's like one of your promo pics. It's the bee in the honeycomb.
Yeah, and there's if we're talking about the same picture, there's a bunch of flowers behind it. Mm-hmm. Those are paper flowers. Those aren't real. And we're gonna have a stage full of those. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much work that's taken. Is that like all hands on deck? Like, you're at rehearsal, start making your paper flowers.
Yep. And we've discovered that some people really have an aptitude for it, and other people would rather, I don't know, clean the cat box than do that. So we shovel it off to the people who are really enjoying it. So and everybody was so impressed with them that we just came up with this spur of the moment plan. If you come to the show and you like the flowers, after the end of the last show, when we don't need them anymore, we're going to sell them by the stem and by the bunch.
Oh, that's cool.
So you
that's
can
a great
take a
idea.
souvenir home for you.
After all that work, you don't want to just like throw them away.
Yeah. And the need for paper flowers in the next show is limited.
Slim to none.
Yeah. And they don't store well.
So you said the show is set in England. Can we expect to hear some accents? Are these English people?
Yes, we're in the Cotswolds, and that's actually an important factor in the play. Felix's mother, who's a very dominant character, feels trapped there. She met James Humble at school, and they had this instant fall in love moment. But then that meant she moved to sort of Middle England, and she feels frustrated and trapped there. And that helps you understand her, and it motivates a lot of the action. So,
you told me that you've directed over 50 plays. Mm-hmm. Do you find that there's challenges in this one that you haven't had to tackle before?
Well, that's why I love theater. Everyone's different. I'm working with new actors. That's always a really interesting exercise in communication. because you have to learn how to talk to each other in ways that make sense. So that's like one of the scariest and most wonderful parts of being a director is creating that. One of our new actors is, he's not new to theater at all. He's done a lot with Civic. His name is Rich Roselle, and he plays Flora, the mother's love interest. And he's done a lot of great stuff for us. He's just a wonderful actor to work with. He's also brought us some new sponsors. So that's been really great. He set us up with a bunch of people in the Depot Town area, and the Riverside Arts Center is very near there. So we've got the new brewery, 734 Brewery, and the Corner Brewery, and Aubrey's, and Sidetrack, and Depot Town Promotions, all contributing to Humble Boy. Yeah, it's been great.
If you could maybe tease a little bit about the show, what is maybe one of the moments that people would really like to see, a scene or?
Oh wow.
Maybe you have a favorite.
Oh, that's so hard.
I know it's hard when you're so like involved in it all the time too, and it probably changes and evolves as the show goes on in rehearsals.
Yes. Well, there's one point in Act 2 where the character Mercy Lott, who is a neighbor and a shy, she calls herself negligible person, who sort of orbits in the Flora, who's such a strong person, in her shadow, and she gets mad, and then she's asked to say grace for this dinner party that is going very badly, but hilariously so. And she has a page and a half of this grace where she finally lets loose on everything that's been bothering her, and then says, "Amen." So that's one of them. Yeah.
When is the show?
The show opens August 23rd and plays through September 1st, and we play Thursday through Sunday. Thursday nights are Pay What You Can. And all those shows up until through Saturday open at start at 8. Sunday matinee is at 2. Then we have another matinee on Wednesday, which is an odd time, but we try and make it so that senior citizens can come in the daytime. And then again Thursday, Pay What You Can through Saturday, September 1st.
And getting tickets, should we go online, just go to the box office?
Yes. The best way, I think, would be to go online, or you can buy them at the door, certainly. But we have a lovely website, PTDproductions.com, and it's really easy to find the link to tickets, and away you go. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So, in your own words, why do you think people should come see this show?
In my own words, because it's a lot of fun, because it's got a universal theme, because the act, don't think I've ever worked with a cast this universally strong. It's early on I saw it just taking off, and if you'll pardon the pun, blooming, and I'm just really excited about this one. I have directed over 50 productions, and so when I say this is one I'm really proud of, it means something, and I'm really proud of this one.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And break a leg.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.